Hey guys.
Back for a special tea drop episode. Welcome back to the Reality Receipts podcast starring me, Storytime with Ricky.
And me, Reality Ashley. Thank you for being here with us on our random tea drop that we love to do for you guys. Once a week is not enough in Love is Blind season. So we got to just keep it coming because there's something happening every day. So we wanted to pop in and give you guys all the receipts.
Yeah, we just can't stay away. We just love you guys so much. We're just like, episode.
Yes. We are having a lot of fun. And again, we are really thankful for all the support and all of the nice comments. And we're glad you guys are loving it as much as we are.
Yeah, and if you guys didn't know, like, we reached number 15.
Yes,
on the podcast charts. Like, that's crazy. We're number 15.
Yeah, we did not expect that at all. We've enjoyed doing our pages so much, and we've been talking about the podcast for a while, so we were like, let's just give it a shot. And so we've been really, really thankful for all of the love. So thank you guys.
Thank you guys. You're the best.
So, yes, the best. We've been talking about, we need like a name for our little group of listeners because we love when there's little nicknames for people. But if you guys have any ideas, let us know because we can't think of anything good, like the Receipt Squad, the Receipt Gang, the Tea Droppers. I don't know. I got nothing good.
I've got nothing good. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT.
Yes. We could do Pod Squad, but I feel like Love is Blind has already kind of taken that one. So we'll come up with
you guys let us know what we should call you guys and what we couldn't call each other. Like
something good. So today Lauren went on the Vow File, so I took a little listen to that to see what she had to say. So she gave a little more context behind the whole ex situationship thing. So I keep calling him her ex because I don't know what else to call him.
Right.
Friend with benefits, but he's not really an ex. That's why he gets the quotation.
Yes,
but
ex-friend with benefits.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, it wasn't anything too new. It's everything we knew already. She said she hadn't seen him for about a week before she started filming. And, he was dating other people, which they haven't mentioned on the show yet. But she said she saw him in like the Are We Dating the Same Guy group. So she knew he was seeing other people and that they were both on the same page about how casual it was. So
yeah, and I do want to add that 2 women did reach out to me personally and said that they were dating him too. Like one said that she was a friends with benefits with him, and another said he asked her out on a date beginning of February. So that seems to check out.
Yeah, and he says he didn't really want to be found out, but that he was put onto Reddit, so he didn't have a choice. And I mean, like I said, he tagged me. He first reached out to me late January, but he ended up deleting that message, and then he tagged me in a video. So I was under the impression he wanted to be found out. He says he felt like he was going to be found out anyways. He wanted to get ahead of it, so it could go either way with that. But making your own Love is Blind poster and making clips of like your head on Bill Clinton's head, it's not really given like I don't want to be found out. So he's sort of proving her point in the show that he was there for fame or for clout.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I've been so confused behind the whole situation because I just don't understand the angle. Like, it seems like everything Lauren is saying like checks out to what not only like he's told me, but like, things that I've independently verified, like, you know what I mean? Everything kind of seems to align. So besides the fact of like Reddit, like how he was discovered, was he discovered by Reddit or was he discovered by Instagram? And I personally didn't know of him until he tagged you. That's and you sent it to me. So if he was on Reddit, I don't think anyone saw it.
No, he definitely could have just stayed private, and I don't think much would have come of it. But it is quite a big storyline, so maybe people would have found him. But
I do think people would have found him. I think people would have found him, and he wouldn't have got this like thirsty narrative. Like imagine if we would have like just stumbled upon him on our own, we would have like people would have like sent him to us. It happens all the time. Like you can run, but you can't hide. Like you know what I mean?
We'll find you.
We're gonna find you. Like we would have found him, and I think it would have been much more organic and natural that way if we found him and we reached out and said, hey, what's your story, as opposed to him like making all these fake podcast clips and all of these, you know. And I don't know, like
if he would have just said, like, I don't want to talk, I have nothing to say, then that's it. I don't think anything else would have come of that. So I don't really know. It's confusing to me because I'm like, who told the producers about this? Dave must have, I guess. He got the messages that his friend group, this guy in his friend group was dating Lauren or seeing Lauren.
Yeah.
And he brought that to producers, because I don't think Lauren would have brought that to producers. So if he's upset about being on the show, it should be at Dave, who was following him up until 3 weeks ago. So it makes me think they're still in the same friend group.
They are. I from my understanding, Dan is close best friends. I think I said this last episode with Dave's he's really good friends with Dave's best friend. Like, yeah. So I think they're all still very much in the same friend group. Now, how production knew that he lived in the same building and all of that, like, we don't know how that was discovered, but I think that at the end of the day, I don't think that Dan did himself any favors by like the self promo that he's been trying to do. I think he should have just let the internet find him, and he should just come out and say his side. Like, because now the only reason why there's a debate is because Dave is believing one thing and Lauren is saying another thing. So I guess people right now are wondering, like, well, what's the truth? Is it what Dave is saying or what Lauren said? But I think everybody kind of believes Lauren over Dave. So I think that's the only thing people are waiting for from him to say, we were casual or we weren't. Like, that's it. That's all he needs to say.
Yeah, the only story he could have if he thought they were serious, and they weren't. But from everything we've heard and seen, him and Lauren are on the same page, have the same story. Yeah. So it's only Dave that's not believing it for whatever reason. So it doesn't seem like there's much else to say, but it does look like it's a big part of the next episodes that drop. So maybe there'll be more that comes out.
And I think we saw in the preview even Lauren saying like, he wants to be on TV. So I think that's another narrative that's like bothering Dave. But again, he's Dan. Jim Tanlaw.
Okay.
It's like, I don't think that, I don't know. I think that's the narrative that's bothering him, that he wanted to be on TV because apparently production approached him to be on TV and he declined. So I guess he's confused why this narrative is going around. But it's like, it does appear that way with all the self promo, which he says is like a joke. He says it's like his way of like banter and humor, and it's for the people that get it. But I don't think anyone gets it. So it just doesn't look good.
And her friend said he reached out and was like, should we blow up this wedding? So, like, you're not looking for a moment when you say, he obviously didn't do that, I don't think, or we would have heard about it by now, I'm sure. But I just don't think, he's not looking for a moment saying stuff like that. So he definitely seems like he knew Lauren was going on the show, because she did say on the Vile Files he knew. They had talked about it for months. So he knew she was going on the show, and then he heard she got engaged, and he was like, I gotta get in on this somehow. That's definitely what it's giving. So, and
I don't get it. Like, if you wanted to get in on it, you should have got in on it. Like, go on the show. Like, go on the show. Like, I think that would have been a great moment for him and Dave to have a run-in, or him and Lauren to have a run-in. That would have been his moment. I wonder, very confused behind all of this.
He did show his receipts of the production reaching out to him, but I don't think he showed a response to them, right? Like, he never posted what he said back. He didn't show a text of him being like, I don't want to come on the show. So I wonder what happened after that. I don't think they'll ever show us the receipts, but I wonder if he asked for something they wouldn't give, or like, was he just flat out no? Because it's weird that we didn't see that. So maybe Lauren will have more insight on that.
That's true. Yeah. I'm actually going to ask.
Oh,
like, can we see the response to that?
Yeah, let us see that you said, no, I don't want to be on camera. Because that's all he has to show, and then he's proved his point. So let's see if he has that receipt, and we will supply it for you guys.
Good catch. Yeah.
And there was other interviews done this week. So Sarah did an interview with Us Weekly about giving some more context on how she discovered the video that Andra did. So, because everybody said that looked like an acting scene when she was like, and she discovered it. Like, everyone knew that wasn't like when she actually discovered it, but I guess maybe not everyone knew because she felt like she had to explain that. So she said when they were at the brewery, that's when she first saw it, and she went right to her producer. Producer separated them, and then they like set up the scene. And so I've seen I posted a clip. I saw a few comments being like, oh, so like they're just actors then, but that is common in reality TV where like you tell your producer something's happening, and of course they want to catch natural reactions because they're not actors, so they separate them and then set up the scene. So it sounds like acting, but you're still making a TV show, so they still set up scenes even in reality TV. It's a natural, like, true thing they're discussing, but they have to set up the discussion. So that it's not the acting. Definitely when she pretended to discover the TikTok, that was acting, but
it was so bad. But didn't she say something along the lines like, because the Andra girl made 2 TikToks, so she said that she actually did see the second TikTok, like, on camera was the first time that she's seen it, right?
Yeah, she said right when they were sitting down is when the second one was posted, and so that's why they talked about him blocking her, because in the second video she posted, she said he blocked me. And so at the end of the video she says, like, that's how I kind of knew the videos were for sure about him, because he blocked her, and like, why would he do that if they weren't about her? So that was where she left off. So yeah, a lot of people were like, oh, that's a spoiler, but she didn't really say negative either way about either Ben or Andra. She was just like, I knew the videos were about him because he blocked her, and that was it. So
and she said the comments were like all saying it's Ben, and she's like, wait, how do all these people know?
Which, like, we looked at those comments, and I don't think there was a lot. There's maybe like 2 that actually said his name, but we definitely, now that it's come out, a lot more people have said his name, so it's becoming more clear. But it wasn't, I don't think it was clear to her until he blocked her, and then it was like very clear to her. So,
and what was clear to me is that Andra's been posting about a Ben since 2022. So I find that very interesting. Like a resurfaced TikTok of her from 2022 where she was talking about a Ben. So I don't know if it's this Ben. I don't know if it's another Ben. She talked about she had 4 stories about Bens. I don't know.
It wasn't the caption like, everyone has a bad Ben story, and I have 4. So we were like, is that 4 Bens that are bad, or 4 stories about this one Ben? But it seems like the one Ben. That's what I think. So
back, I'm sorry. That's strange behavior to me. Like, you're talking about this guy from 2022 that you went on 2 dates with, and he ghosted you. Like, and now here we are in 2025, and you're still talking about him. Yeah.
Like I said before, like, I think 2 things are true. She's
for sure.
Like how you just said, but then I also think a lot of women have come forward saying, yeah, he is like this, but but again, the way that she originally presented it was a lot more serious than what we've heard actually happened. So definitely, two extremes.
For sure. Ben sucks, 100%. Yeah, like, I believe and agree that Ben sucks. So
yes, I've been seeing people are finally picking up the story that you did about the YouTube card. So
it's
now
like,
that's
people,
everywhere.
come on, catch up! Like, we posted that. We told you guys that, like, in episode 1, I think, because it was before the season even came out.
Yes, that's why you gotta stay tuned in, because we have everything first here. That's why, that's why we're doing this, because we wanted to be able to tell everyone this. But it's so hard when the tea is so far in the future that it's like, this doesn't make sense yet, but it will. So we've learned that we have to we have to circle back to it.
We have to circle back, because the amount of, like, first of all, like when I first posted the Ben YouTube card thingy, because I posted on TikTok and we did it here in episode 1, and the video was not getting any traction. I just looked at it like yesterday. It's like at like 1 million views, like all of a sudden, like, and then it's like all of these articles are quoting it, and they're not crediting me, by the way, or our podcast, by the way, which the podcast was mentioned in Cosmopolitan. That's another little win we want to just let you guys know about. But exciting. They weren't crediting me.
Yes, it is funny how some podcasts make fun of the TikTokers and say they're not accurate, but then they will flip around and be like, so we saw this video about Ben's YouTube card and talk all about it without crediting us. But I guess, we're only inaccurate when it goes against their interview narrative, which we meant to mention. I had somebody ask the other day, like, we can't wait till you interview some of the cast, and we love the cast, and we would love to do that with most of them. But if you do cast interviews, so if you see any podcast interviewing the cast, they're very controlled by the PR, the kinetic. And so if you have the cast on, you really are not allowed to talk about the tea and the receipts. And that's really where we enjoy bringing that to you guys. So we're going to avoid the cast interviews because those are everywhere. They do the same interview like 5 times. We can just talk about that with you and still bring you all the fun stuff. So at least for this show, for Love is Blind. Maybe for other shows, they're not as strict, but you cannot talk about the tea and get the big interviews. So we're going to be on the side of the tea.
And just so y'all know, like every podcast or interview it has to be approved. So ain't no way, I'm just like, ain't no way Netflix or Kinetic is approving any of their cast talking to us. Like,
no,
we're gonna ask the real questions, and if we can't ask the real questions, then stay home, okay? Because
we have to stay in reality here. We want to talk about what really happened. So in order to do that, unfortunately, we probably won't have the cast, but you never know. But we would rather, we're the rebels.
We'll get the rebels, the ones that like want to like go against their NDA or like don't care. We'll get those cast members because I know damn well Catherine from Love Is Blind UK was told not to talk to me, and she did it anyway. And I know Marissa was told not to talk to me. She did it anyway. So we'll get those. We'll get the ones that don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
We got off on a little tangent about our guests, or not guests, but we're going to focus on the tea for you guys because that's where the fun is. So another interview that was done recently by the cast was Joey on the Love in Reality podcast with Ricky. So he talked about his number 2 in the pods was Sarah. And so I can't believe they didn't show us that because Sarah and Joey on the beach together maybe would have been a little exciting. But obviously if they didn't focus on that, maybe they didn't have any drama, so there was nothing there. But it was interesting to know. Yeah, his number 2 was Sarah and his number 3 was Meg. So and more connections we didn't see.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Sarah and Joey. And then we could have all like had our eyes on them at the beach reveal. That would have been fun.
Yeah, so we missed out on that. But I mean, given like Joey and Sarah's personalities, I can definitely see they didn't have any drama seeing each other on the beach, so that's probably why they didn't focus on that. But
maybe,
all right, we missed out on that.
All right, fine. All right, no drama there.
We're like,
but that was a fun tidbit of tea because I didn't know that.
Yes, but now the biggest tidbit of tea that we got is about the reunion. So if you don't want to know what happens, we're not giving any major spoilers. This is not about who's together or anything. So if you don't want to know, tune out now. We'll see you Tuesday. But if you do want to know, this is a big one. So we have been told by a very...
Drum roll, please!
The big reunion, Love is Blind, season 8 tea is that there is an engagement announced at this reunion. And it's not anyone that you might expect. Or you might expect it. We don't know. But we're not going to spoil it because an engagement is something that people should announce on their own. But we just thought you would want to know, because I know some people thought this season was a little bit boring, even though it's going to get better. There is an engagement at the reunion. So it's definitely worth checking out because we're excited to see it.
Yes.
I mean, obviously it hasn't aired yet, so there is always a chance they can edit things out, but I don't see why they wouldn't show that. It's a pretty big deal. So
yeah, that's a big deal. They're not going to edit that out. But if they do and there is no engagement, just know that there is an
it happened.
It happened, and we'll be back to tell you who if they try and make it look like we don't know what we're talking about.
I was going to say, I guess in this world we never know, and they could break up by then because it's not till March 9th, so maybe it could get edited out, but it happened. So if I feel like we'll be seeing it for sure.
Wow,
so that's super exciting.
That is
and we have
exciting.
A little bit of other tea about the reunion, but very mild tea. But they do go easy on Dave, we heard, so it's not going to be a big roast of Dave. I think whenever someone has a rough season and gets roasted a lot, then they don't really go hard on them at the reunion. So and the interview that Lauren's done a few interviews, and I noticed she's being very like defending of him, and they both posted a story yesterday like, be kind to everybody on the show. So they're not going against each other, which a lot of the engaged couples do make that pact when the show comes out. Like let's go easy on each other because everyone else is going hard enough, and let's have each other's back. So they're definitely doing that.
I heard that that's part of their contract. Like, they're not allowed, and I don't know how true that is, but that they're not allowed to, like, negatively talk about their cast members.
Oh, okay. That makes lots of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's why they're being nice to each other. But Dave, like, I noticed that too. Like, when somebody has a rough season and they're getting a lot of online backlash, like, they coddle them at the reunion, but that's just going to make people talk about Nick and Vanessa and their hosting job, because it's like, like, obviously, like, people online are not just, like, hating on Dave for no reason. Like, he's a douchebag. So, like, people are calling him out for his actions and, like, his rude one-liners and his rude, like, behavior towards Lauren. And it's like, I don't think there's anything wrong with, like, holding him accountable for that, or, like, making him, you know, acknowledge his behavior.
Yeah, like, I think it's fine. Like, obviously, we talk about the show. Everyone talks about the show. And you talk about it with your friends. And I think that's all fine. It's just when people actually find them and, like, DM them some really mean things. I don't understand the point of that. Like, if they want to go and look in comment sections, that's on them. Like, I think they should not do that. But a lot of them can't help it because they want to see the good. But there's always going to be bad. So if they can just stay out of the comment sections and then we can not DM them mean things, they don't have to see what they don't want to see. So I don't know why people go that far to, like, track them down and message them.
Like, that's a lot. Like,
we can
tracking
talk about
them down and then, like, leaving comments, like, that is extreme. You will never catch me in anybody from the cast comments. Actually, I did leave a comment on Leo's page the other day, but nothing mean. Like, he was talking about the show, and I left, like, a funny comment. Like, I never thought I'd see the day where I missed Leo on Love Is Blind. Like, you know, it was a funny comment.
Yeah, something nice is totally fine.
Yeah, but if I have a video and the caption is Dave sucks, like, you probably shouldn't watch it.
No, stay out of the comment section. And like, you can come to our comment sections and talk, or other pages, or talk with your friends. But I don't know. It's so hard because they want to be public because they want to get the opportunities. But then when you are public like that, you know, it's because before all of the social media, people could just go on the show and then go back to their lives, and it just wasn't so in their face what everybody thought about them. So it's I think it's smart that they defend each other when no one else is. So I see why Lauren's doing that. I mean, we did have a comment left on one of our videos that Dave and Lauren are together. We don't really buy that. There's no receipts or proof, and her defending him might give that to some people, but we don't see that.
Yeah, we also got a comment that she's dating somebody else that was in the pods. Remember?
Yeah, someone said that she was dating Scott after the pods, but that was from a very unreliable source. That was potentially from Mo.
That was potentially.
The person that said that was defending something we had shared about Mo.
Right, because if you guys missed it, like, on my TikTok, I shared a post that Mo was problematic. I said that here on the pod that he was problematic, but I went into more detail of why he was problematic. And so the same person was saying Mo wasn't problematic, and we know that he was problematic because on our podcast page, Molly actually hopped into the comments and was like, "Oh, you don't remember your problematic behavior?" And so even the cast is, like, acknowledging that he was problematic. So and my source is, like, A1. Okay, like, you were problematic, sir.
We don't talk about anything on here unless we have seen the receipts and the proof. And if we haven't, we let you know. Like how we just said, we saw a comment saying Lauren and Dave were together, but it's not verified. So do with it what you will, but we don't believe that. But if it comes true, then I guess this person
like,
knows
if we
them,
have a receipt, we'll tell you the information with the receipt. So,
but people leave comments about everything. So we're not going to buy that. I think she's just defending him to be a good cast member, and she would want the same I think they thought she was going to be like the villain. So I think she's doing for him what she would want him to do for her. So not because they're in love anymore. So
maybe, who knows? So,
we'll see.
So that's is that all we got for them today?
Yeah, that's our mini tea drop with the super exciting reunion news. And by the time this is out, I think the new drop of episodes will be out or almost out. So we will recap those on Tuesday. So we will see you guys Tuesday. Thanks for tuning in to our special tea drop. We'll have
see you
a
guys
good
Tuesday.
weekend.
Bye.
Bye.